Okay, here's a question to kick things off. What if all knowledge, past, present, maybe even potential futures, what if it was all recorded somewhere?
Hmm.
And could that somewhere actually hold more information than, say, all the data that's powering artificial intelligence right now?
That's a really fascinating way to frame it.
Yeah, looking through the sources you shared for this deep dive, that comparison really jumped out.
Hmm.
So today we're going to unpack two, well, pretty powerful concepts.
Right.
On one hand, the ancient, sort of mystical Akashic records,
Hmm.
and on the other, the very cutting-edge world of AI training data.
Very different worlds.
Totally. So our mission here is to really understand what each one claims to be, how they stack up against each other.
See where the overlaps are, or
Exactly. And maybe figure out which one might, hold the key to universal understanding or even scientific progress, all based on the material we've got.
Yeah, and just to sort of set the scene for you listening, think of the Akashic Records, like you said. It's a concept from more spiritual, esoteric traditions. It's seen as this metaphysical record.
Metaphysical. Got it.
Whereas AI data, well, that's tangible. It's a huge collection of digital information gathered from, well, everywhere, online and offline, digitally speaking.
Fundamentally different starting points, then.
Absolutely, in their very nature.
Okay, so let's start with the Akashic records. Let's really define what they are, because I think for a lot of people it's a pretty abstract idea.
It really is. And, the way they're described in these traditions is pretty fascinating. They're seen as this metaphysical record of literally everything.
Everything.
Every event, every thought, feeling, experience,
Hmm.
everything that's ever happened in the universe.
Wow.
Think of it like a cosmic library, maybe, or a universal database. But crucially, it doesn't exist on a hard drive.
Right. Not physical.
It's on a non-material level, maybe energetic
Yeah.
access. Well, that's believed to come through things like deep meditation, specific spiritual practices,
Or special abilities.
or special psychic abilities, yeah. And it gets even broader because it's not just the past.
Hmm.
It's thought to include the present and even potential future outcomes, like a complete ledger of all existence.
Okay, that's immense. The scale is almost impossible to grasp. It makes even the biggest AI data sets seem, well, tiny in comparison.
Like a grain of sand, like you said earlier.
Yeah. So how does that compare to the data used to train AI? That's something much more grounded for us.
Exactly. It's a stark contrast.
Yeah.
AI training data is vast amounts of digital information, real-world stuff we've recorded.
Like what specifically?
So texts from all over the internet, websites, blogs, forums, you name it. Then digitized books, articles, scientific papers,
Okay.
social media content. Think posts on X, for example. Other digital things like emails, transcripts.
So mostly text-based.
A lot of it is, but also multimedia data for the multimodal models, images, videos, things AI can learn to see or hear.
Right. Models that handle different types of input.
Precisely. But here's the key thing. While this data is huge, it's finite.
Finite.
It's limited to what humans have actually digitally recorded and made available somehow. We measure it in terabytes, petabytes.
Which sound enormous. A petabyte is, what, 1,000,000 gigabytes?
Something like that, yeah. An incredible amount. But still, it's a number. It's measurable. It has limits. The Akashic Records theoretically don't.
Okay, so putting these side by side, you, the listener, can probably already feel the massive differences. Let's really dig into this comparison across a few key areas the sources brought up. First up, just the sheer scope of knowledge.
Right. Well, for the Akashic Records, if you take the spiritual teachings literally, the scope is infinite, all-encompassing.
Infinite.
It supposedly contains all knowledge about the universe, past, present, potential futures, not just events, but subjective stuff too, thoughts, emotions, even cosmic laws. It's total.
And AI data, even the biggest models.
Vast but finite, absolutely limited to what humans have produced and digitized. Think about what it doesn't have. Private thoughts people never wrote down. Unrecorded events. Pretty much anything from before we started writing things down, unless we've, pieced it together indirectly.
So a huge amount is missing from the AI side, relatively speaking.
Infinitely much if the records are real.
Okay, that scope difference leads to the next point.
Mm-hmm.
How do you access this knowledge? For the Akashic Records, it sounds. Well, not like logging into a database.
Definitely not. Access is said to be limited. You need special spiritual or psychic abilities.
So not something science can easily measure or replicate.
Exactly. There's no known physical or technical way to just tap into it, which from a scientific perspective makes them unverifiable.
Right, and AI data?
It's digital, It exists in files on servers. You can process it, analyze it, feed it into algorithms.
Though access isn't always simple either, right? There are barriers.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Legal barriers like copyright, ethical ones like data privacy, technical challenges. But the potential for access is there through technology. It's a pipeline problem, not a fundamental reality problem.
Got it. So spiritual insight versus digital pathways. That brings us to the nature of the knowledge itself. It's not just how much, but what kind of knowledge are we talking about?
That's a great point. The knowledge in the Akashic Records is described as holistic, multidimensional. It includes spiritual, metaphysical aspects, things beyond just material facts.
Universal truths, cosmic laws, that kind of thing.
That's the idea, like a
Yeah.
deeper living understanding of how everything connects.
And AI data.
It's empirical,
Yeah.
based on human experience, language, culture, what we've observed, written, created.
So it reflects our reality, our documentation of it.
Exactly. AI learns patterns from our data. It's limited to the material and social world as we captured it. It doesn't inherently understand metaphysics.
Okay, that makes sense. One is maybe universal truth. The other is human documented truth, which naturally leads to the big question, verification. How reliable is this knowledge?
Yeah, that's the crux, isn't it? For the Akashic Records, there's no scientific way to verify their existence or content. They're outside empirical research.
So belief is based on...
Spiritual tradition, subjective experience, personal accounts, not scientific proof.
And AI data, we can look at that.
We can. It's tangible, analyzable. But, and this is a big, but it's riddled with potential issues.
Like bias.
Bias is huge. Incompleteness, errors, inaccuracies. The quality of an AI's output is completely dependent on the quality and diversity of its training data.
Garbage in, garbage out, basically.
Pretty much. So while verifiable in principle, its reliability isn't guaranteed. It reflects our own flawed data collection.
Okay, this is fascinating. So recap. Akashic Records, if real, theoretically infinite knowledge, but inaccessible and unverifiable by science. AI data, finite, reflects human knowledge and biases, but it's accessible, analyzable, and improving.
That's a good summary.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting, the thought experiment from your sources. What if?
What if someone could build a device, a machine to access the Akashic Records, make them available to everyone?
The hypothetical device.
Yeah. Would that hypothetical device be more useful than AI for actual scientific progress? Okay, wow. That's a massive question. First, we have just to acknowledge the sheer implausibility based on current understanding.
Right, the physics alone.
Exactly. The records are supposedly non-material, existing on some spiritual or energetic plane. A device that would need a whole new physics. Quantum mechanics, field theory, something we haven't even dreamed of.
It's beyond engineering. It's rewriting fundamental science.
Totally. And then, even if you could build it, how would you translate infinite, subjective, possibly spiritual data into something usable, comprehensible?
How do you make sense of everything?
Right. The epistemological barriers are huge. How do you know what you're getting? How do you verify it?
And the ethics. Oh, boy.
Yeah, the ethical and practical dilemmas are staggering. Privacy, if every thought is there, manipulation potential, just sheer information overload collapsing society.
Okay. Let's bracket those immense challenges for a second. Assume we somehow solve them purely hypothetically. How does this device stack up against AI for pushing science forward?
All right, hypothetically, the potential advantages are, well, universe changing.
Literally.
Literally.
Yep.
Comprehensive knowledge of everything. Far beyond AI data. It could offer insights into metaphysics, maybe consciousness itself, revolutionizing philosophy, religion, maybe even science.
Could it give us answers to currently unsolvable problems, like diseases, climate change?
Theoretically, yes. If the answers exist within that record and the device could accurately retrieve and translate them, maybe instant solutions.
But that if feels enormous, and the verifiable part we talked about earlier.
Absolutely. That's the giant asterisk.
Yeah.
Even if you get the data, how do you filter the signal from the infinite noise? How do you confirm the cure it gives you isn't, I don't know, based on faulty spiritual logic or just plain wrong in our physical reality?
It's a meaning and verification nightmare.
Precisely. And practical application still relies on us, on our current tech and infrastructure, which is built around empirical testing and gradual progress. You can't just implement an Akashic cure instantly.
Okay, so contrast that hypothetical wonder device with AI as it exists now.
Well, AI's advantage is its practicality. It's here. It works. It gives concrete operational results now.
In medicine, engineering.
Data analysis, material science. Fields are being transformed based on verifiable data patterns AI finds. AI offers continuous iterative progress. It learns, gets better.
And it's integrated, right? We're already using it.
Deeply integrated into research, industry, daily life. It's immediately useful within our current scientific framework.
But it has its own limits, very real ones.
Absolutely. It's confined to our documented knowledge, a fraction of what might be knowable. It inherits our biases, our blind spots, the gaps in our data.
And it can't access those deeper metaphysical questions the records supposedly hold.
Not currently, no. It's grounded in the material reality we've fed it. So if we focus purely on scientific progress, that step-by-step verifiable process,
Yeah.
an Akashic Records device, if it worked perfectly and gave verifiable practical info, would be utterly revolutionary, no question. But science relies on gradual verification, experimentation, peer review.
The scientific method itself?
Exactly. Even with perfect knowledge from the records, you'd still need to test, build, implement within our physical reality. That takes time, resources, infrastructure. AI supports that iterative process now.
So AI is more useful currently because it fits our process.
Yes. It's accessible, it's operational, it's iterative, which aligns perfectly with how science actually works. And it's already part of the ecosystem. It's the powerful tool we actually have in our hands, even with its known limitations.
So what does this all mean for you, listening in? We've kind of journeyed from this mystical concept of infinite knowledge,
The Akashic Records.
to the very real, tangible, yet finite data powering AI. What this deep dive really highlights, I think, isn't just about comparing knowledge systems. It's almost a reflection on us, on humanity. This yearning for absolute truth may be represented by the records
The ultimate understanding.
versus our actual, practical, step-by-step, verifiable progress using tools like AI.
Yeah, it definitely reinforces that distinction. The records offer this, vision of unlimited potential, almost a knowledge utopia.
But theoretical.
Highly theoretical, yes. While AI, for all its flaws and limits, is giving us tangible, verifiable results right now, it's the more practical tool for making progress today, one data set, one algorithm at a time.
That feels like the core takeaway.
Yeah.
And maybe it leaves you with a final thought to chew on. If we ever could somehow tap into those Akashic records, make that infinite, unverified knowledge universally accessible.
The big if.
The big if. Would we even be ready? What would that actually do to science, to discovery, to human understanding as we know it? Could we handle it?
A profound question indeed.
Definitely something to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive, exploring both the cosmic library and the digital frontier.